Well, it is no secret North Texas has seen rapid growth. In fact, we are home to some of the fastest growing cities in the country. Thank you for joining us. I'm Morgan Young, and in our Boomtown series, we explore what is driving the expansion here and the hard growing pains that come with it. Over the next half hour, we are taking a look at the good and the bad, like the growing pains that come and what cities are doing to keep up, plus the building boom, not just new homes, but all the grocery stores that are opening up in our area. And we're going to explore a term called city shopping and how developers are using it to their advantage. But let's kick things off in Fort Worth, one of only 2 cities in the country to surpass 1 million residents in 2024. All those newcomers are fueling its economic growth, and as Mark Istuk shows us, all that development is reshaping Cowtown's future.
It's just amazing how Fort Worth has grown since I first started coming here.
A lot has changed between the years Jimmy Stewart's voice graced this documentary.
Where it can never lose sight of its past.
And this new promotional video welcoming visitors to
Fort Worth, the unexpected city.
And now the unexpected city is taking the bull by the horns.
First things first, how's the Fort Worth business?
Booming.
Booming.
It's booming.
Well, this is a Boomtown series, so I'm glad that you say it is booming. Are we in a Boomtown?
I think we are. Yeah, I absolutely think we are. Yeah, great place.
Robert Allen is CEO of the Fort Worth Economic Development Partnership, the EDP.
I get to talk about Fort Worth, and I get to talk about why I think it's such a great place to do business.
And those talks have paid off to the tune of $2 billion worth of capital investment, according to the EDP, and more than 20 deals with businesses either relocating or expanding in Fort Worth, leading to at least 5,000 new jobs, including Brazilian aerospace company Embraer committing to new maintenance facilities in Fort Worth, and Bell Helicopter bringing the largest Army contract ever to the city. Big wins by design.
It's why we created that organization, really to lean into what it looks like to be a business-friendly city.
Mayor Maddie Parker says Fort Worth had world-class amenities, but needed help selling the city to more world-class business. Turns out, Allen's 2 decades spent working alongside Texas Governor Greg Abbott made him the right man for the job.
We needed a real professional that could build a level of acumen and focus around economic development that we did not have previously.
He's an amazing talent, and we're very lucky to bring him to Fort Worth. And it was really all about building an entity here that could do what he was so good at doing at the state level.
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Billionaire developer John Goff owns the Crescent Hotel in Dallas and the new Crescent mixed-use development in Fort Worth, and serves on the EDP board alongside notable North Texas CEOs from American Airlines, BNSF Railways, Lockheed Martin, and others.
The area is coming alive.
At a time when many cities struggle with vacancies, Goff just broke ground on new high-end office space and says the city has everything it needs to attract even more economic development.
I think that's attractive to certain businesses, big city assets in a smaller town environment with amenities like no other city of its size.
Plus the 3 buildings A&M's doing.
Goff helped lure Texas A&M to expand its campus in downtown Fort Worth, where the university will house innovative research in partnership with the business community. TCU, Tarleton, UT Arlington, and Tarrant County College are all expanding as well, building a base for business.
We want them to all be successful, because if we can keep the talent pipeline at home, then I can look at a director of HR and I can say, I have your talent today, I've got it in 5 years, and I've got it in 10 years.
That is the hope.
Just think about what the skyline will look like.
That this economic development partnership provides a foundation for the future.
So there it sits.
That this boom doesn't go bust.
High on a bluff above the Twin Forks of Trinity River.
And that the unexpected city,
where it can never lose sight of its past and can see the future forever.
keeps surprising people
Fort Worth,
for years to come.
the unexpected city.
And Fort Worth is not the only fast-growing city in North Texas. Believe it or not, DFW is home to 5 of the fastest-growing cities in the nation. Number 1 is Princeton in Collin County. And as Jobin Punniker found out, Princeton is growing so fast, they had to take drastic action to keep up with the growth.
Here's lever action. DL Caldwell can sell just about anything.
Here's a Ruger right here.
He's been doing it since the 60s.
Princeton is home for me.
And for the longest time, he's been trying to sell people on his city.
Go from nothing to what it is now.
A city that has now earned a huge title.
Holy crud, I need to get a hold of Aaron and find out when we became the fastest growing city.
Fastest growing city in America. Its population has grown 30%, 38,000 people according to the census. The city knows it's more like 45,000.
We're the fastest growing city in America during a residential moratorium. So that says a lot.
There's been a stop to all new builds while the city catches up on infrastructure.
Right now, we're just catching up to what we have now.
DL remembers when 380 was a 2-lane road, when it was all cows and cantaloupes.
Now, the cows, the cantaloupes, and all are gone.
DL is not surprised by his city's new title. A businessman first, he bought a lot of land here.
I knew it was going to hit one of these days, and it hit good for me.
Princeton will add 6,000 new people and 2,000 new homes every year for the foreseeable future.
They want infrastructure. They want things for kids to do here.
Princeton is no longer that city of 800 that DL remembers growing up.
I believe it's a new gun, but
he is happy with this growth and the title that comes with it.
Well, we're going to get it one way or the other, so we might as well like it.
In Princeton, I'm Jobin Puniker.
And right now, we are also in the middle of a full-blown grocery store boom, and it could change where you shop, what you pay, and even how neighborhoods grow. Janelle Fort shows us why it's happening, what's driving it, and what it means for you.
On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
We've covered so many grocery store groundbreakings and grand openings lately. It was getting hard to keep count. So we took a step back, started digging through zoning agendas and site plans. And that's when it clicked. This isn't just another wave of retail growth. North Texas is in the middle of a full-on grocery store gold rush.
No one knows the DFW retail commercial real estate market quite like you guys.
I'm confident to say that we know it pretty well. Matter of fact, we know it really well.
Bob Young is the executive managing director at Weitzman, a commercial real estate firm that's been tracking retail in Texas and beyond for decades.
Every year, we go, and now in DFW, we drive and look at 1,441 shopping centers that are 25,000 square feet and greater.
To get into Weitzman's data, they found last year nearly 700,000 square feet of grocery space was added in DFW. This year, hundreds of thousands more are under construction. And right now, more than 40 grocery stores have openings planned in North Texas over the next few years.
Why is DFW a magnet for grocers?
Population growth, job growth, and basically a 360-degree development opportunity.
With 5 of the top 15 fastest growing cities in America in our backyard, the formula is simple. Growth equals demand. The strategy is more complex.
And they're looking not just for growth or postal counts or whatever metric you want, but they are very, very savvy, and they're making plays on growth corridors.
Like in Salina, number 4 on the list, where city officials expect the population to explode from roughly 50,000 to more than 300,000 people in the next few years. They just got a Walmart and Costco and are eyeing traditional grocers next.
We are in constant communication with just about every national chain. They very much want to know all the demographic data, and they dig down very, very deep.
It's a clear indication of the calculated race for space.
25 is going to be the year of the grocer, and I don't want to get over my skis, but maybe 26 is going to be the year of the grocer.
And this isn't just about stocking shelves, it's about staking claims. Because in North Texas, grocery stores aren't just moving into neighborhoods, they're helping build them. I'm Janelle Fort.
Big city growth, big city problems. Up next, why the nation's fastest growing big city is losing land. Plus, why a boomtown is leading to a boom behind bars. And if you have a Boomtown story to share, scan that QR code or email us at boomtown@wfaa.com. Welcome back, everyone. You might think a boomtown would sound like a dream for developers, but that's not always the case. Cole Sullivan looks into why a developer decided to opt out of the nation's fastest growing big city.
Welcome to Robert Bell's ranch. About 320 acres of big sky, big cattle, and bigger plans.
This whole area is kind of preparing for growth.
He wants to build houses, apartments, and retail here.
The cows are going to have to find a new home, I think.
It's easy to find this land on a map, straight west of Fort Worth on I-20. But where it is more complicated and more contentious. You see, the Bell Ranch is in this green area. It's called an ETJ. Not exactly part of the city of Fort Worth, but not just in Parker County either. It's an extraterritorial jurisdiction. The city has dibs over, is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah, so that is a good way to put it.
Dana Bergdorf oversees development for Fort Worth, which had claim to Bell's land.
It was based on the promise that property would come into Fort Worth at some point and be developed.
The city worked out this deal in 2021 to help Bell develop the ranch. Then, in 23, lawmakers changed the rules, and all bets were off.
So at that point, the property owner was then able to work with adjacent communities to determine who would be able to offer them the best deal.
For Bell, it meant he could leave Fort Worth's ETJ behind and shop around for a new dance partner.
I got excited. I mean, we were very, very excited.
The city next door was ready to tango.
It's very rare you have government employees work past 5 o'clock on a Friday, but there were several Friday nights where we're up here in this conference room at 8:30, 9 o'clock trying to figure out how to make this thing work.
Brian Grimes manages the 6,500 resident city of Willow Park. He says the law allowing Bell's development to get hitched to them will change its trajectory.
I think the history of Willow Park will have two parts to it. It'll be pre-Robert Bell and post-Robert Bell.
They gave Bell a new development deal and promised to build out water and sewer infrastructure faster than Fort Worth.
We're small and nimble.
After seeing what other cities offered, Bell signed with Willow Park.
As like a landowner, whether you really care that much about which city it is.
But their happy marriage left Fort Worth and its development plans behind.
It's a Swiss cheese effect, I think is the best way to describe it.
Now there's a hole in the middle of the map of Fort Worth's future. Developments still in the city can now be right next to land now belonging to someone else.
It forces us to compete.
It changes how they plan for the future, how they budget their water, and how they view their neighbors. Already, Fort Worth has lost 4,000 acres of land it once had dibs on. Do you expect that number to grow?
I do, yes, I do.
They want the law to change to protect places they've already started building infrastructure for.
So it's the idea that we might put a lot of skin in the game and then be told the game's over before we're done.
That's correct.
But it's to the benefit of developers like Bell, who say the ability to find a better deal means their projects are more likely to happen.
100%, 1,000%, yes. Yes.
That is more certain now.
It's far more certain now, yes.
And when he's done building, Willow Park will now get the benefits. In Willow Park, I'm Cole Sullivan.
Keeping up with the population boom also means maintaining infrastructure, and a big one is water. As Richard Solomon learned, New Fairview in Wise County has come up with a solution to keep the water flowing.
There's a certain feel you get from a city like New Fairview.
It's definitely a quiet neighborhood, a lot of small town feel to it.
A town of only 2,200 people and many animals.
We moved out here probably about 10 years ago to kind of get away from being around the city.
But the Fast Life council member Peter Kozlowski tried to escape will soon be his newest neighbor.
It's a little bit sad to see some of it go, but I mean, it's the nature of being in an area like this so close to such a large community, Fort Worth.
And this area, just off South County Line Road and Farm to Market Road 407.
Down here along 407, you have this commercial retail area.
Will be the site of the mixed-use development called Ranchland. The developers plan to build 4,000 homes, including schools and a downtown for the area.
This is a concept plan for Ranchland.
The company says they plan to break ground later this year.
But then you also have sections here where you can build multifamily if you want.
John Cabrales Jr. is a city administrator who says there's just one gag with this project.
Today, we provide zero water and wastewater services. We don't have a water wastewater department.
And he says they're working on a solution fast. Right now, the city is working with their neighboring city of Justin and its water company, Upper Trinity Regional Water District, to provide water to its development and another. The plans would build a pipeline to connect from Justin's infrastructure.
When they're all built out, our population estimates for those two developments alone, 22,000 people.
He says they could have a deal worked out by the end of this year with the water company. This city growing right before their eyes.
We just try to work with them to try to get the best thing for the city in the long run as we can.
But also keeping its country feel. In Wise County, I'm Richard Solomon.
Turning now to the city of Ferris, where they're facing a different type of struggle. How do they grow bigger but still maintain that small town feel? Here's Brittany Moncrief.
20 years ago, Ferris was called the town where everyone hates each other, but Carla Levels sees otherwise.
We found it to be real peaceful, and it was just, everybody was real, nice.
She's a newlywed, having moved from Mesquite to the city of Ferris.
It's always been a dream of ours to, just have a new beginning in our life, for us to have something that we, build together.
And building is what the city is doing too. City manager Brooks Williams says there's over 1,000 lots in some form of development, but the biggest.
We're very excited to see this growth and to embrace it.
It's the South Creek Dallas project, a massive plan for the 4.3 square mile city.
This particular parcel is going to triple the size of the city of Ferris.
Working with Cawley Partners to develop the 5,200 acre land, it'll include up to 5,000 homes, digital commerce parks, data centers, and manufacturing near the future Loop 9.
We can see residential tax burden decrease when we have these types of projects come in.
Williams says it'll grow schools and the city's charter school concept.
This is an opportunity for them to get more money into the education system. There's also a housing component to this, which means more students.
Still, there's some who want to keep Ferris small town feel.
Everybody gonna have to probably leave out 2 hours early to get to work.
But as surrounding cities change, many say Ferris must change with it.
You got to learn to adapt. It's just the world.
Now it's just about trying to do the best we can to make sure that it matches the vision we have for the community.
And while completion may be years away, it's the city's vision to be distinct by design.
It's all about having pride of your neighborhood, having respect for one another.
That led Carla to build her dream here. In Ferris, I'm Brittany Moncrief.
Still ahead, how massive growth has led to a massive problem inside a county jail. We're back now with an example of how growth can also come with some growing pains. Jobin Punaker takes an in-depth look at a problem they're dealing with in Collin County.
They'll open them up and they'll come up here one by one and they're in a line and get their trays.
Collin County's jail is not like many you'll find.
We'll scan them to make sure we've documented that they receive their meal tray.
It's one of the state's first, built with pods like this.
One officer with 72 inmates.
Guys.
That's a lot.
I just said don't exchange trays.
They're either serving their sentences or waiting for their days in court. WFAA got a rare look inside the jail of the nation's fastest growing county. Chief Johnny Jaquist is the jail administrator here.
If this was a classroom, it would be considered a special needs detention classroom with 72 students.
Managing this population is hard enough.
Appreciate you, man.
But managing the budget might be harder.
It's not hard for us to believe. We have a lot of extra posts, for example, that we don't have permanent positions for.
Now, the chief tells us there is a confluence of factors happening just outside of population growth: understaffing, overcrowding, and underfunding.
I would say that this situation plays itself out in many more places than just Collin County.
Alex Burton teaches criminology and corrections at UT Dallas.
There's always this tug of war between efficiency and then quality of service.
I've been writing you letters for years.
That tug of war plays out in budget sessions at the county commissioner's court. The sheriff says they are dozens of officers short, and that shows in the overtime cost of nearly $5 million this year, way higher than budgeted.
But I can promise you we are very, very lean.
If we don't have the money in the budget, we can't spend it.
The court's dilemma: go above the tax rate and fund, or find the cuts. Judge Chris Hill argues he's consistently resisted tax hikes up to the legal cap.
But you didn't leave anything on the bone. You took it all.
The latest proposal would add 60 new detention officers, but at the expense of losing 24 deputy and administrative positions.
What you want to do is you want to defund the police right here in Collin County, Texas.
Give and take has taken its toll, and things have gotten personal.
My position is I'm not going to raise taxes for...
He never has. He's a political animal.
That is a horrible, inappropriate thing to say. It's not truthful at all.
You don't.
You don't care about the county.
I do.
No, you don't.
Sure I do.
You're a liar.
You're a liar.
Is this both pods?
Public safety, which includes the jail, is more than a third of the county's budget.
Cassie.
The reality is the jail is 90% full.
Tiffany.
Higher than the national standard of 80% of max capacity.
We've got to learn from our past mistakes.
A very similar sized jail to that of Bryan College Station, of Waco. This jail is smaller than Lubbock County.
As the population grows, there are going to be more people that go to jail.
Last week, the county sent 136 inmates to other county jails.
Well, it's way more expensive to send the inmates out of county.
Is your job impossible?
Some days it feels like that.
The sheriff got 41 of the 82 detention officers he wanted last year. It looks like he'll get more officers in the jail this year, but lose people elsewhere.
We can't give you everything you ask for. And your response to them is?
How would you like to pay for it? Because the workload has to be done. There's a lot of moving parts to a jail. It's a large operation.
Chief Jaquist says the county is about 10 years behind on construction, and the growth has overwhelmed them.
I'm no politician, but aren't conservatives more law and order? So if we're law and order, where's my bed space?
Judge Chris Hill writes, there are always resource challenges in a county as dynamic as Collin County, and my focus is providing all departments with the resources they need while keeping taxes as low as possible for our citizens. Every city, every town in Collin and the county itself are playing catch-up, and it appears the growth is moving faster than the response.
Something has to give.
In Collin County, I'm Jobin Puneker.
The growth here in North Texas isn't stopping, and we will be watching it closely. To learn more about our Boomtown series and to see more stories like the ones from today, head over to WFAA.com/Boomtown. Thanks for joining us.